A lot of you were asking about it in the comments on my other video, so in this one, I'm going to be showing you how you can perform arrow smuggling from versions 1.0 up to version 1.1.2. The glitch we're going to be using to achieve this is called Cull Smuggling, and it was discovered by Mozz. I'll have links down in the description. Now, because this is a different method to perform arrow smuggling, there are going to be some differences over the quick smuggling method for 1.2. The main and most notable being that this method will not produce an indestructible bow. So unfortunately, you can't use this in combination with Tobio's Hollow for just unlimited item duplication. The unbreakable aspect is unfortunately restricted to the quick smuggle method in 1.2. So to perform this, all we're going to need is whatever bow you want to use to achieve arrow smuggling. This bow is going to carry its effects into the arrow that you smuggle. So if you use a 5-time, you'll still get the 5-time shot out of it. And then you're going to need 2 shields that can be fused with. And then finally, we'll need to find any location that is capable of causing area culling. And essentially, that just means any location that's been specifically programmed to unload actors when you get far enough away from them as a means of preserving system memory. And I know that probably sounds like a bunch of complete nonsense, so I'm going to have a link down in the description for an object map that's going to show you everywhere in the game that's capable of causing area culling. So essentially, it's a map to show you anywhere in the game that you can reperform this glitch. Because, like the quick smuggle method, this unfortunately doesn't persist through loading screens. So if you wanted to go to the other side of the map, realistically, you'll need to find somewhere with area culling on that other side of the map and then reperform it over there. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using the earliest and most easily accessible area for culling, and that's the emergency shelter right here in Lookout Landing. So to actually perform the glitch, we're going to take our bow, we're going to drop it on the ground, just make sure that we have no other bows equipped, otherwise it's going to get in the way. And then we want to pull up fuse, and we're going to perform fuse entanglement. If you're not familiar with how to do that, we're going to be holding down L to bring up our rune wheel, and timing our ZL press for right before this comes up. So right before this rune wheel pops up, we're going to be pressing ZL to try and fuse the bow to our shield. And that's going to look something like this. And you'll see kind of behind the recall rune, you can see there's that little light on the ground, but the bow has moved from over there to behind me on my shield. And now from here, what we need to do is when we let go of L to close our rune wheel, you need to either mash or time left on the D-pad to bring up your shield menu. And that'll look like this. Once like this, all you need to do is just scroll over and release to equip another shield, and you'll see that your bow falls to the ground. If you look back on your bow menu, you'll see that this one is supposed to be fused, but the bow that should be fused is on the ground, and the shield is just bare on our back. From here, we're going to drop this entangled shield, and we're going to pick up the bow. And now, we just want to leave the culling area. So we're going to ascend up out of here, and we're going to make our way toward the front gate. Now, what we're watching for is once we get far enough away from that shield, it's going to unload, and because it's entangled with the bow on our back, that means as soon as the shield unloads, the bow on our back is also going to unload, so it's just going to vanish. However, the arrows are going to stay. So what we want to do is, once that bow disappears from our back, we want to press ZR to try and pull it out. Now, you don't need to be precise on timing, you don't need to be quick, you don't have any tight window or anything that you're aiming for here. Just once you see that bow vanish, just press ZR. And I'll show you what that looks like right here. So we're going to walk forward, and you see right there, the bow is now gone from my back, so I'm going to press ZR, and we're going to pull out just an arrow. See, no tricky timing, no tight windows, it's incredibly lenient. I don't think there's actually any timing. I think you can just pull it out at any point once the bow vanishes. However, important to note that when you are leaving the culling area, make sure that the bow is on your back and not in your hand. Otherwise, you will not end up with an arrow smuggle. You'll end up with an entirely different smuggle that's completely useless. So in this position, we have technically achieved arrow smuggling. If I were to equip a melee weapon, I can still get the infinite height that you get from regular arrow smuggling. No restriction on that, I can just keep on going. However, because of the way that we've achieved it, there's a limit to how far I can move with this. Because if I go too far away from the shield that's in the shelter down there, it will completely despawn. And since the bow that we're using to smuggle this arrow is linked to that shield, if the shield despawns, the bow despawns, which means we lose our arrow smuggle. So to make this permanent, we want to drop our equipped bow. Nothing's going to happen visibly, but if we go back into the menu, you'll see we're no longer holding a bow. And then now we're just going to go back toward the shelter. You'll see that our bow is now reappeared on our back. And then we're going to hop back down in here. Don't worry if you press B and you put away your arrow, it's not going to cancel it. Once that bow has appeared on your back, you're completely safe. You don't have to worry about accidentally messing it up by putting it away and trying to sprint or grabbing onto this ladder or anything. You don't have to worry about any of that. So we get down here, we're going to pick up the shield, and now you are completely free to go wherever you want with this. You can see, if I press ZR, my arrow is still in my hand, but because we have that shield with us now, we don't have to worry about getting too far away and having it despawn and ending our smuggle. And I'm just going to show that real quickly by running further than I would normally be able to. And you can see that even at this distance where that shield definitely would have despawned by now, I'm still holding my arrow, still have the capabilities of it, no problems. Now, things to be careful of. There are a lot of ways to accidentally end this. If you equip any other bow, it will end your arrow smuggle. If you equip any other shield, it will end the arrow smuggle. If you try to fuse any material to a weapon, it will end the arrow smuggle, because that will break your fuse entanglement on the shield. Now, you can get another shield equipped without breaking it. All you need to do is zuggle your entangled shield, like so. And if you're on 1.2, then you'll have to do smuggle stacking to zuggle it. But if you zuggle the entangled shield, then you can equip any other shield that you want. You don't have to worry about losing it, because with the shield zuggled, you always have the entangled shield equipped. So it's not getting overwritten, so you don't have to worry about it. As you can see, still getting all of the use, all of the benefit, even though I have the fan shield equipped right now. And then, just as one little last demonstration to show you some visible evidence that sadly this does not make your bow unbreakable. But that's going to do it for this one. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the newest glitch discoveries. And if you liked this video or if it helped you out, leave it a like and let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you next time.